Good morning. It's Thursday. It's Scott McFarland. After spending the bulk of yesterday in the D.C. federal courthouse's 6th floor watching a prolonged day of trial in the case of a man accused of throwing a salami sandwich at a federal agent, we're going to shift to a case that could arguably be considered larger in scope and size. The big deadline at 5 p.m. in the case against James Comey, the former FBI director. After proceedings in court in Alexandria, Virginia yesterday, the judge ordered the prosecution, the Department of Justice, to hand over materials to Comey's defense lawyers by the end of the day today, including grand jury materials. The judge expressed some pretty direct, unequivocal concerns about how the prosecution's been conducting itself so far in the Comey case, saying it's a mindset of almost indict first, investigate second. And in expressing those concerns, the magistrate judge wants more information handed over to Comey's defense team. There are all kinds of threads James Comey's been pulling legally in this criminal case filed earlier this fall, arguing it's vindictive, selective prosecution, arguing the U.S. attorney in the case, Lindsay Halligan, wasn't lawfully appointed. And this has been referenced, this now famous Truth Social post by Trump that began with Pam and referenced how he'd like to see cases, including against James Comey, which is why this is so much larger in scope and size than your average criminal case, not just because the defendant is well known, but so much of what happens next in this case, in the Letitia James case, which also goes back to court in the coming days, could be an indication of how this type of urging plays in court and how this type of urging could be a death knell for a criminal case or could be harmless to a criminal case. What the judges decide in these matters could have lasting impacts well beyond today, which is why this is so much bigger than the throwing of a salami sandwich.